GEF commits $52.8 million to UNEP climate and nature projects. The Global Environment Facility has approved $52.8 million in funding for 4 new projects led by the UN Environment Program, targeting ecosystem restoration, clean transportation, and national climate reporting capacity. The approvals were finalized during the GEF's 70th Council meeting in Washington, D.C. on December 17th, 1 week after governments convened for the United Nations Environment Assembly, UNEA-7. The projects reflect a shift toward implementation-focused environmental finance, with funding tied to defined outcomes rather than policy signaling. Together, they address land and marine degradation, transport emissions, and the institutional gaps that limit climate accountability in developing economies. UNEP Executive Director Inger Andersen said the new investments help convert recent multilateral commitments into operational programs across climate, biodiversity, and pollution priorities. Carlos Manuel Rodriguez, CEO and chairperson of the GEF, described the projects as integrated interventions designed to deliver benefits for both ecosystems and communities. Madagascar, wetlands and electric mobility. 2 of the 4 initiatives focus on Madagascar, combining ecosystem protection with transport decarbonization. A $7.2 million project will support improved management of more than 655,000 hectares of wetlands and marine ecosystems, restore 24,000 hectares of mangroves, and reach approximately 60,000 people through climate-resilient livelihoods. The project is expected to mitigate more than 41 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions, reinforcing the role of wetlands as long-term climate assets. A separate $2 million addendum will support the expansion of electric mobility systems in the country. The funding is aimed at strengthening policy frameworks, institutions, and technical capacity to reduce vehicle-related emissions and air pollution, particularly in urban and peri-urban areas. Indonesia, aligning marine governance for a blue economy. In Indonesia, a $9 million project will focus on improving coordination across marine and coastal governance systems to support a sustainable blue economy. The initiative targets sustainable management of 1.42 million hectares of marine habitat, restoration of 50,000 hectares of mangroves and seagrass, and avoidance of an estimated 2.19 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions over a 20-year period. Approximately 200,000 people are expected to benefit through improved ecosystem services and livelihoods. The project also addresses land-sea pollution by integrating spatial planning and sectoral oversight, an area of growing concern for coastal nations facing development pressure and climate impacts. Expanding climate transparency capacity. The largest allocation, $34.6 million, will support 25 countries in preparing and submitting biennial transparency reports, BTRs, and combined national communications to the UNFCCC under the Paris Agreement. The program will enable the production of 50 national climate reports, strengthening emissions tracking, policy evaluation, and institutional continuity for climate governance. As reporting requirements under the Paris framework increase, limited technical and administrative capacity remains a barrier for many countries. This initiative is intended to address that gap directly. A long-standing partnership, the new approvals build on more than 3 decades of collaboration between UNEP and the GEF. Since the partnership began, the 2 institutions have delivered more than 1,000 projects across 160 countries, supported by $3.3 billion in donor contributions. Over the past 8 years, joint programs have helped prevent 77 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions, restore 6.5 million hectares of land, rehabilitate 1.1 million hectares of marine ecosystems, and strengthen chemicals and waste management policies in 70 countries. With the GEF-9 replenishment scheduled for 2026, the focus now shifts to whether these models can be scaled fast enough to meet accelerating climate and environmental risks. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team.